Peace.
Yeah, so he has to hopefully he has to get that together, man, see what he's doing.
All wise and civilized Darkim.
Man. This is, I don't know what happened. Somebody called me and I broke off. I don't know if y'all still can see me in there. But we had, who came in here? Night Owl.
I'm just getting sick and tired of that, man.
I don't know if y'all was in.
I got serious, God. I got serious when I asked him that question. You know
we got the guy Quashim in here.
Tight like that, you know what I'm saying? Because last week it was a different situation, and then this week is this. You know, it's like, you know, I mean, what's going on here?
Reveal came in.
I know.
793rd.
Back.
793rd always. Yeah, it could have been that Flocka. Who knows, man?
I mean, you know the signs, right, God? Yeah, man.
Who else is in here? Knowledge God.
That's why everybody knows it.
Yeah,
Knowledge born.
That's why the same bill like the God said, you gotta be able to know who's the Musa, the
State of the art.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta, well, Allah is the all I see.
Man, you see how you able to look at this person's state of the art and see that you said he's talking extraterrestrial stuff? You have to be able to understand when you were saying extraterrestrial stuff. But it's okay. Supreme Justice. Peace to the God.
I think he caught it when I asked him what's the prescribed road or it's known to that person that celebrated.
Urban Gorilla. Urban Gorilla says substances is a nice way of putting it. How would you have put it, Urban Gorilla? You said you got 793rd says Sun God losing his patience and checking himself from taking it back.
Yeah, man, I'm saying, though, it's like history repeating itself.
Reveal said, what is the secret that the devil couldn't reveal in the born degree in the 1 and 14? The secret is that he couldn't oh, hold up. What's going on here? Yeah, gotta refresh this.
In the born degree, he can't.
Yeah, he's not revealing the secret that we gave him this chance to clean himself up. Alright, yeah, now, wait. What's this? This is back from before. See, this is, y'all know my technology. Y'all know I'm Amish.
The only one, G.
You ain't the only one, G. I struggle myself.
Yeah, you know.
Chisel and everything, man. Old school shit.
Yeah, that's what I be saying. I remember, look, I was there when we used to talk with 2 cups in a string. You know what I'm saying? Now we on here talking worldwide, man. Y'all got to build. Alright, yeah, now we back in effect. Yeah, he had to go. I don't know what he had to go do, but yeah, he had to go do something. Yeah, that's what it is, man. People keep calling me, and they know that they know this is what I do. You know, I gotta get a whole other phone. But SW came in. Alright, we back caught up. Gorilla said he said his name was Equality. He meant to say he had some equality before he came to the crowd. Listen. That's more than equality right there.
That was equality in some.
Little stronger.
That's the problem now, is that they got stuff that they call it synthetic equality and it's not.
Yes.
That stuff is synthetic dust, man. Yeah. Like I seen what equality do, I seen what dust do.
That's something called equality.
Yeah.
That synthetic Scooby-Doo and all them things they used to sell in the Arab store. Yo, they got synthetic weed, you know what I'm saying?
K2.
K2.
I heard that.
Yeah, well, there's another one that they call Scooby-Doo.
Yeah,
they got all
yeah,
different
that's
names for it, you know what I'm saying? They used to, they
See,
got
that
it
stuff
from the
is-
store, man, because they have
That
others
stuff
like-
is dangerous because
like us, yeah.
they make it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So being that they make it, it's already, you know,
So this the anti-Nick.
the level of you're right, the level of artificialness to it, right? But here's the thing. The reason why they can sell it, right, is because when they make a substance illegal, they have the chemical compound of it. They have the chemical structure and everything of it. But see, with this stuff, right, when they get busted, they change the formula. So now the new formula is not illegal. But here's the thing. Your body is not used to whatever that new stuff is. So that's why every couple of months you hear, yo, 100 people OD'd this weekend on that K2. That's because they changed the formula. And now people are smoking like you smoking the old formula, but it's not the old formula. You understand what I mean? It's, you know, like heroin, you know, you go over there and you sniffing like you getting from this dude, but now these dudes got the good stuff, man. You about to go end up in the hospital. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what's dangerous about that K12, man. I don't too much mess with it. Well, I don't have to mess with that at all. But I'm saying just even I don't mess with people. I don't mess with people like when you go down there on Lexington Avenue.
Right.
I don't speak to nobody on Lexington Avenue. You know what I'm saying? Like even if I know you a little bit, I look at them like, where's where you at now? And keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the main spot over there. That's where everybody.
Yeah, I don't speak to nobody over there.
That's why Pat Mother locked down and shit.
Yeah, I heard that been locked down for years already.
Yeah.
16th, right?
No, I ain't
No,
back
I
on
ain't
125.
We got
Oh, one in Lexington.
our guy just came in. Alright, we bounce back now. We get most of the people came back in. So what's the signs with you, bro? You was renewing your history. What you up to now?
Yeah, peace. My name is Righteous Kareem Allah. I rest in the desert or the oasis. For those who don't know, that's the borough of Queens in New York City. Base mathematics is wisdom cipher. I see wisdom as the way. I see wisdom as wise words spoken by wise people. You have to have knowledge first. Wisdom never comes before knowledge. Knowledge is before wisdom. That's how I see that. One of the God, I used to live in the Raleigh, North Carolina area many years ago, about a little over 30 years ago. And one of the gods said he was from about a mile outside of Raleigh. I don't know if that's Durham, but if it is, I used to live in Durham and Raleigh for a few months. So I wish to God peace.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the no bookstore, no being short for knowledge, which is on Fayetteville Street in Durham. And I knew some brothers in the Nation of Islam in Durham way back then. That's mosque number 34. Nothing like New York, very small. There was I like the Kobe Bryant analogy where you said that he studied Michael Jordan just to imitate him. And I have myself, I've been around a lot of gods as they built, trying to learn from them and hear them quote lessons, to see the way they conducted themselves, I don't want to say on the stage, but as they were standing and building. And I tried to learn from that. Maybe not to imitate them in the same way that Kobe might imitate Jordan, but just to remain myself, but watch how they did it. Many of them have now returned, but I mean, people such as Father Divine, Father Bouchon, Infinite Al-Jamar, still among us. And then I came here to the class. I was actually in the class with the young God who just left this past Monday. That's the 120 class, taught by Umallah, who goes back to almost to year one. He goes back to the equality years.
Okay, God, but that wasn't the question he asked, God. You said all that, but that's what you still ain't answer his question.
What question are you?
He just said what degree you was on.
Oh, I'm studying. Well, I'm trying to improve myself in terms of speed with all the degrees to conjure them up quickly. But I'll say I'm on pretty much 1 to 36. That's what's giving me the most.
See, let me
that's
tell
what I paid most
everybody.
attention to at this time.
Let me tell everybody something, man. You cannot perfect the lessons without being able to quote it. The speed that comes in time. In anything that you're dealing with. Like when you eating your food, when you see a baby eating their food, it takes them 5 minutes to get one spoon in their mouth. But over time, you develop the ability where you don't even realize. You like, man, I finished that food, man, quick, I need some more. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You never gonna perfect you can't see when you try to understand the lessons, right? Before you can quote all of them, you try and skip steps. You trying to get understanding without having wisdom. And so you never gonna get there.
Well, I can quote 1 to 36, from 1 to 36.
Now I'm just saying that you said in particular that you concerned with the speed of you quoting it. I don't know if you meant the speed of you, like if somebody asks you the degree, it takes you like a minute to come up with it, or you mean the speed of you actually just saying it. You know what I mean?
The first example you get.
That only comes with practice. It only comes with practice, you know what I'm saying? With any given thing, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you seeing the product of years, months, and days. You understand what I'm saying? But if you saw any of us, I don't care if we the teachers of the class, I don't care if we the most knowledgeable guy in our area, whatever it is, guy, we all started off having to think an extra long time before we came up with the degree. You see what I mean? To the point where, look, I devised a method to not have to do that. Like when I tell people, look, when I got to like the alphabet in the 136, right? I knowledge every fifth one. So I knew what the knowledge degree was. I knew what the power degree was. I knew what the knowledge out of cipher degree was. So then if I had to count to the 13th degree, instead of me having to count from knowledge all the way, I only got to count from 10. You see what I'm saying? That's because I'm trying to tell you that, look, I went through the same thing of having to, think before I spoke. But that's what we saying when we saying internalize the lessons. You see what I mean? To where, like knowing how to walk, you've internalized that to the point where you don't think about it until something happens to your ability to walk now. Then you would notice, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, you don't think, when I get up, I'm about to move my left foot first. But if you see babies, right? If you ever seen a baby, like, look, they'll walk on a day. And when they walk on that first day, by the end of the day, they moving all smooth, right? But then the next day when you stand them up to walk again, they gotta think about it. You know what I'm saying? It takes them a while. They're like, hold on, I know I did, see what I mean? But after so much time, you internalize that knowledge. We internalize this supreme mathematics the same way. You know what I mean? And we keep the 120 on cap because, look, in all of these different books, they got the truth. Whether it's the Bible, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, the War and Peace. You understand? They together. You understand what I'm saying? It's not a whole thing where, you gotta go back and refer to this. Like, we can keep the whole entire thing on cap. Right? But it's really the mathematics and the alphabet that really makes the difference. It's not the lessons. You see what I'm saying? So for that, you gotta just have that on cap because then, you're never gonna come to the understanding, right, of you and the 1 to 10. You're not gonna come to the understanding of how much is land and how much is water. You're not gonna be able to break down the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean and the Arctic Ocean unless you study the rest of the degrees. Like every degree, like look, if you look at the knowledge degree, right? Every knowledge degree tell you the same thing. It just going more in depth. Every knowledge degree tells you about the original man, right? And the earth belonging to him. Right? It's telling you he's Jamaican, the owner. You understand what I mean? Now, W.F. Muhammad, of course, that goes off a little bit. But it's...
Like reaffirming himself.
Right.
Can I say something?
Good.
Yeah, God. The thing about it is this, God, that, I noticed you was trying to stall. Like you was trying to stall in your answer, God, and it's kind of like a little bit frustrating because, we all required to memorize and we all required to study, God. So you know what I'm saying? That don't separate nobody. So I gave you an advice. My advice to you is, God, like the older God Shasha told me, learn all the lessons from the student enrollment or from the supreme mathematics to the actual facts and solar facts, and then you could come back for the understanding. Because every time we asking you, God, you saying I'm on my 136, but then when we go outside that day, you quote in the 8th degree in the 140. So that's kind of confusing to me because, your bird is born regardless to whom or what. I deal in equality and give you some understanding of what I know, God. But, every man is held responsible for their own way, God. Because when we in a cipher, God, and they ask you to born your understanding, you on your own. Just like I'm on my own, he's on his own, everybody's on their own. You can't born and understand. That's why in all these videos of the 5% where you see, you hear the man saying at the end, you must do your own research. As I did. You see what I'm saying? And understanding comes with time. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I do not like what you doing, God. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're dealing with the 136, how you able to quote the whole build or destroy degree in the 140 that day outside? I don't understand that. You quoted the whole build or destroy degree in the 140.
The 136 is I was attending.
Okay, but you was telling me you was done with the 136 since I met you. But then that day when we went outside where we had the situation with the flag, that the brother was saying whatever, that I was trying to justify or, telling the brother not to chastise you, I felt kind of stupid. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, the truth, but the God told me, nah, you're not stupid. You dealt with equality. You did what you had to do. You want for your brother what you want for yourself. You know what I'm saying? But then You telling me you done with the one that's 36, but then you quote the whole building destroyed? That's a long degree, God.
Right.
The building, and you quote the whole thing. So how you done with the one at 36? And you in the one at 40 quoting me the whole degree?
As I was saying, the 1 to 36 is my weak spot.
Okay,
And
but
that-
now you know it then.
And that, the example that was given a moment ago, when you said, are you talking about, like if somebody asks you, one of the degrees, does it take you?
But God, I'm like that too.
So I say,
God,
yeah.
look, listen. When they ask me a question in a degree in a 1 to 36, you know what I'm saying? I know what's the above question. What's the above question number 10? Then from there you could go 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? And count. You know what I'm saying? The 28th degree, you already know about how you said. So you know it's not something that's like, you know, I don't know, God. I don't know, God. I don't know. You don't keep using that as an excuse. That's what I'm saying, God.
No, it's not an excuse. It's just trying to be honest with myself. Like if I'm trying to articulate a weak spot, but I can understand that. You know, yeah, things come in time, and that's a good strategy. You know, like memorize the first 5, the second 5, and you ain't gotta, you know, count too far backwards and forwards, and then eventually.
That's my piece, God. I don't wanna, you know what
See,
I'm
it's
saying?
also just you just gotta say it. It's one of the things with look, it's some things, right, that you can learn, you know, from you could just watch. Like I could just watch somebody that's a folding chair, I could just watch somebody unfold it, and then, you know, I could pretty much figure it out. But there's some things that you can't learn without doing. There's some things you cannot learn without doing. Like, look, let's say a person came up to you and told you, look, you know, I've been to Harvard, you know, Yale, MIT, all the greatest colleges, universities, graduated straight A's, right? But I've never been in a hospital before. But I graduated with straight A's in brain surgery. Would you let that person operate on your brain?
Mm-mm.
Now, what if another person told you, yo, I didn't really go to college, but yeah, I've been operating on people's brains since the 70s. Yeah, they all still alive. You can call them. Would you let that person operate on your brain?
Nah, because I was sure not to take nothing on face value. Right?
Yeah, but look, which one would you be more likely to let operate on your brain?
Of the two, the second one is most qualified.
The person who actually has patients that have survived him cutting their head open, right? This is what I'm saying. It's the same thing with the knowledge, where there's no way for you, like when you go into medical school, right? And then you come out and you go and you do your internship, right? The first thing they gotta do is they gotta observe. Like if you're gonna be a surgeon, they gotta observe somebody who's already a professional do the surgery, right? Then once they get comfortable with that, they gotta do the surgery under the observation of somebody who's experienced. So in case if anything go wrong, the person can correct it, right? But then, in order to show and prove that they really know it, they gotta be the person that observe when a new person come in. You see what I'm saying? Because if you could teach a science, then they know you got it. If you could teach it to somebody new. You see what I mean? But the only way to do that is to get into the mix of the action. There's no other way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you could observe basketball and know the rules. But listen, you're not going to be LeBron James just watching the highlights. You understand what I mean? You have to
Study.
Yeah, because the knowledge is cell to cell. You understand what I'm saying? So the cells, you know, they gotta interact on a physical level too. You know what I mean? You got certain, like, you know, you got muscle memory. You understand what I'm saying? You know, you got, you know, when you eat food, right? how you know if it's Spanish food or Jamaican food or whatever? That's a certain memory that's in your taste buds.
True fact.
Yes, and I mean that's developed when you a youth. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, you gotta say the lessons, man. That's the only way
It's 9 o'clock.
that I seen. You understand what I mean? To get the full fruition out of it.
And constantly, God, constantly, every day, when you're in the most relaxed moment, soaking in the tub, quote the lessons, whatever lessons you know, quote them, and just keep repeating them, and they'll stick.
Yeah,
It's like glue, God. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything, God. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like basketball players. You know what I'm saying? How they get swift. They be dribbling that ball. Boom, 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 boom. They practice. Boom, 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 every day. You know what I'm saying? If you stop practicing, you ain't gonna be able to make no jump shots.
Yeah, when I'm waiting for the train and the train's taking a long time, sometimes I find myself, in fact, all the time, I find myself saying, it don't have to be this degree, but I might say, my name is W.F. Muhammad, I came to North America by myself, my uncle was brought over here. I traded 379 years ago, my uncle doesn't speak his own language, etc.
That's
You know,
good. And
just
you keep-
because,
that's great, God. That's great. You know what I'm
then if I
saying?
do the 140 and I get to the 28th, which is a long one, okay, the train comes, I'm thinking about getting on the train, not bumping into nobody, so I don't wanna mess the degree up, I'll wait till I sit down. And I'm comfortable on the train. You know,
That's good. That's
and I say, what is the prescribed law of Islam? And what kind of rules and regulations, including all laws enforced while manufacturing the devil? I'll just say the whole thing.
that's a long one.
Right. But by
That's
that
one of
time,
the longest
by that time I'm comfortable, and I
Okay.
know I'm going from Queens to the Bronx. The local train's gonna take a while, so I'll get it out.
You know, everybody got their own way of studying. I'm not trying to tell you to study the way I study.
Right.
Study the way you feel more comfortable.
Right.
The way I study is, I already know the supreme mathematics and alphabets of 12 Jews.
Right.
So I ain't never gonna forget that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I go from the 1 to 10 all the way to the
Right.
actual facts and solar facts.
Right.
And I don't have a clear understanding of all the degrees in 120, but I'm working on that too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's not an easy thing, God. You know what I'm saying? And if we don't quote it, first of all, you know what I'm saying, we got to have the knowledge. Like the God been telling you in the class, you know what I'm saying, Saturday. First is the knowledge. And then that's when you'll be able to do the wisdom. But if you don't have the knowledge, you ain't gonna be able to do the wisdom, and definitely you ain't gonna get the understanding. You know what I'm saying? So everything is, mathematics is law of steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can't go from 1 to you know what I'm saying, to 4, then come back to 2, and then go to 8. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that. That's why mathematics is, they got they laws. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't put 3 into 1. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. You can't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's not laws of mathematics. You know what I'm saying? Everything gotta go with knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement, power, culture, freedom. You know, power, refinement, equality, God, build to destroy, born, and cipher. Everything is in order, God.
Right.
See, you know, a lot of this really comes down to, man, when you deal with, you know, the understanding equality degree, right? You know, and it tells you the exact number of years, months, and days of the devil being birthed on our planet, right? You gotta remember that the first law of nature is self-preservation. You understand what I mean? So, what do they need to do to preserve themselves? They need to keep killing the black. You see what I'm saying? So, you under time constraint. You understand what I mean? time is infinite for us, but we under a time constraint of we know it's somebody out here that's trying to get us. So we can't take forever to study what we gotta study. You see what I mean? Because when you deal with, the 19th degree in the alphabet, supreme alphabet, and it's telling you self and savior, depending on how old you are, you got a family out there, people that you gotta save. You understand what I mean? Like if you got a woman, you got babies, whatever, if you just got cousins, if you just got the community. These is people that's all out here to be saved. You understand what I'm saying? So look, all of us in this room, we older than that. So you see like the brother, he do the rap music, Pop Smoke, he got returned, you know what I'm saying? Whatever is those mentalities out there, if we losing the young brothers like that, right? That's our duty. So we don't have the rest of time. I mean, in reality we do, but if you want to be effective with saving people, you got to get this knowledge now. Like the people is already dealing with hard time, hunger, nakedness, out of doors, and being beaten and killed by the ones that advocate that kind of God. So if you the person that's designated, right, to bring the sun out and make it shine, I'm saying it's past dawn already. So, because just in general in life is only going to become more and more complex and harder for you to deal with studies, and harder for you to, decipher what's going on, especially in a simple way. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was telling the brother that, in one of my classes that, when you coming into the age, into the knowledge, and you in your 20s or whatever, and you already got situations, like you already got babies that you already was supposed to be teaching. That's different than if you come into the knowledge at 15 and you building up to these things. You see what I'm saying? So even in terms of, look, if like I was telling the brother, look, if you plant a seed in a woman's stomach before you plant it in her brain, right? You already put the wisdom before the knowledge. You already on a, but you understand what I'm saying? So that's why you have to get the knowledge of yourself. You see what I mean? Because see, your wisdom and understanding, right, is what you got to use to save your life. You understand what I'm saying? Like when you go out here, whoever you say you is, it's your wisdom and your understanding that has to save your life in that situation. Your wisdom, your understanding of your environment, the people that you're dealing with, and what you got to manifest to get yourself into what's good and out of what's bad. See what I'm saying? It's not like other places where we could say, well, what this person teaches us, or what this book says, or nah. We said we the true and living supreme God. So our own wisdom and understanding is going to have to save us. It's like when, look, simplify it. When Allah was in Madawan, he got out of there he manifested what he had to manifest. He didn't hold people hostage and broke out. He didn't escape out in a laundry truck.
He did what we have to do.
Right. His wisdom and his understanding got him out of there. You know what I'm saying? And we know that they continue daily. That's just one instance. But as soon as we walk out there, there's people with plans to take us down that they've been planning for decades. You see what I'm saying? So we can't be slow gassing. Like when you look at the degrees, man, look, it's lollygagging, and then once it gets to like, the understanding culture degree, understanding power degree, now we start getting down to business. Like, we done told you how we got here. We done told you who the enemy is. Time to get down to business now. You know what I'm saying?
Like that degree was giving me a hard time too. Like that degree with how many years, months, and days the devil was being birthed on our planet. 6,020 years, 72,241 days. Months, and 2,197,351 days. I was saying to myself, why I need to know this when my duty is to erase the devil off the face of the planet Earth? That's me thinking crazy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You still gotta know how to quote the degree. You understand? Because you're gonna be asked that degree. You understand? So, and it's with the degrees that complicated. You know what I'm saying? But then the practice makes, after you can, anything that you put your interest in, you'll learn. Mm-hmm. It all depends how interested in you learning in it, right, God? You know what I'm saying? Because if whatever interest you put, you'll learn whatever you want to learn. I think well, I don't think, I know everything comes from the mind. How much interest you put in whatever you want to learn, you learn. If you don't want to learn it, they could drill it in your head like 1,000 times and you ain't gonna learn it because you don't want to learn it.
It's on you.
Yeah, it's on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because, as much, and that's another science that occurs, in terms of, really anything, I was building with a brother about this earlier today, is that, the way people try to teach a lot these days, right, is you trying to convince people to come into the knowledge, right? And what happens is,
it's almost like religion now.
And then people start to deal with it like religion, because people deal with most people that don't deal with religion know way more about religion than people that deal with religion. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was in Christianity, I didn't know nothing about, the Council of Nicaea or none of that, if you'd asked me about that. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's one of them things where when you do that, you end up wanting the person to have the knowledge more than they want to have it. And then when that happens, you start relaxing the rules. You know what I'm saying? Even, and that's because you not, see, when you teach, right, and you manifest signs, and then the person wants to be a part of that. You see what I mean? Once you explain things, they're like, hold up, man. Well, I can't explain things like that. Now they want to come into the knowledge. Now you can make sure everything go right and exact. You see what I'm saying? But when you trying to convince this person, then things is gonna go off the rails. But that's with almost anything that you relating to people. You see what I mean? Like,
so in other words, it's not gonna work if you try to convince them.
Right. Okay. See what I'm saying? So it's like if you dealing with a woman, right? If you manifest who you are, right, as God, as man, right, and then she wants to be a part of that cipher, that's different than if you just trying to convince her to deal with you. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Now you want to deal with her more than she wants to deal with you. Not saying that getting competition thing, mm-hmm. but I'm just saying that she doesn't really want to deal with you. Mm-hmm. You understand what I mean? Yeah. So now you end up relaxing the rules and doing all type of stuff that you understand what I'm saying? You coming off of money and all other type of things instead of really dealing with your nature of who you are. You understand what I mean? Because man and woman is already a natural fit. So if you got to do some artificial stuff, you see what I mean, to draw up, besides manifest the you know what I mean? Like, we got the build or destroy degree to show us how to draw water up. You see what I'm saying? But if we don't apply that, then we get caught up. Let's see who we got. They in my chats now. the brothers be going in. Oh yeah, Reveal said peace, Kareem. Reveal was the brother that played basketball at your school.
Peace.
And somebody else.
What's your honorable name, Reveal?
Reveal said peace, son God.
Peace.
You gonna tell me something?
That's the God that be having the ciphers here with us, right?
Yeah, Reveal. He been having to work. They changed his work schedule. That's why he ain't been able to make it. Night Owl said, how do you see how do the guys see brothers getting knowledge of self who live far away from Mecca and Medina? Well, I rested in the P-line, so I can't. I guess you gotta ask some brothers from I rested in the P-line when I got the knowledge, so you gotta ask some brothers from Mecca and Medina how they feel about that. I'm quite sure I'm cool though. Yeah, see, good brother Devon said he rested in the Midwest.
Yeah. Peace, class.
Alright, peace. Yeah, no doubt.
You still here on Sundays?
With the boxing, yeah.
Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna slide through. This week I'm on vacation.
Well,
so
this weekend is the right. So yeah,
What's
we're
your
gonna be
name
over
again,
there.
God?
Wise King Law.
Wise.
Peace.
Wise. I'm not too good with names, but I remember
Yeah,
Wise.
but yeah.
Wise King of Law, right?
Wise King Law.
Alright, that's peace, God.
Peace. Peace, man. You
Self-magnetic.
Sun God?
Some God, yeah.
Self-magnetic law?
Self-magnetic.
Peace.
Kareem.
Peace. Darkim. Peace, God.
Peace to the God.
So next week y'all back on with the boxing, right?
On
Next Sunday?
the Wisdom Born Day? Or
No,
that'll be the first. That'll be like the first.
The first.
Yeah.
The first or the second, yeah.
We'll be back on
Alright.
yeah.
So yeah, that's the last day of vacation. So I'm gonna try to slide through up here then.
Alright, no doubt.
That's around the Wisdom Hour.
Yeah.
You train brothers,
I
God?
also train also.
Okay.
In Medina.
Alright.
No, I haven't trained up here,
Okay.
but I follow the guards on social media and I see what they're doing up here. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, true.
I love I love what they're doing with that. So I always told the guard. I told the guard when we was at the Papa Wolf. I told the guard that I want to sign up here one of these days, but I just be working on the weekends.
Okay.
So it'd be hard for me to come up. But since I'm on vacation, my physical degree day was 2 days ago.
Alright, happy born day, guys.
Thanks,
Happy
please.
born day.
Yeah, so I took a week off, week and a half off.
Okay.
So yeah,
What's your physical degree, huh?
understanding God now.
Okay.
Understanding God. So yeah, so I just so yeah, I should be free next week, so I'm gonna slide through.
Alright, no doubt.
Alright, one peace, God.
Peace, God. Peace.
Peace, black man. So, Reveal said, wouldn't that be devilish, man, if you helping the devil deceive? What you mean if you mean by telling him not to reveal the secret? I don't understand.
So basically any devil that wear the universal flag, they gotta put a sword on the upper part of the flag. Oh, no, that's right. I forgot you. You didn't get to that degree yet, right? Yeah, no, but that's what the degree said.
So what, they gotta be like on some
No, they said,
Masonic type of thing?
I guess, yeah, that's.
So they got a sword over like a crest.
I said
Yeah, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Because,
3,000 miles from Mecca?
The upper part of the flag.
If a Caucasian man has a flag, or a devil, you
A
said.
devil, Caucasian, same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Because I heard that the word devil is black devil, so
Yeah, well,
devil could be white or black.
yeah, just like the God was explaining, colored. You know what I'm saying? That's what.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what made.
So the colored man got, if he wears a flag, he has to have a sword on top of it.
Colored.
Life of law.
Colored.
I ain't no life
Like
is
the
in the
way they
building.
explain it is like a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just a physical
Right.
color. You know what I'm saying? You could be colored because your way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? Negativity. Like that's when they say the worst devil was the black devil because he could come amongst you and snake you.
Mm-hmm.
You what I'm saying? Because he could come as your own kind. You thinking that he's the original man and he's your brother, and
he wicked ways and stuff.
exactly.
Right.
So it's just not it's not just the white, just because he's
Boys.
white. I seen a lot of, well, I can't.
Well, like
I
you were
ain't got
saying,
caught up.
a colored man rocking the flag has to have a sword.
A sword, yeah, on the upper part of the flag. That's what the degree says. I'm just
So
saying.
Mayor Lindsay had one too, right there.
Man, Lindsay.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny, but
Man, Lindsay 5%.
I gotta ask that. I gotta ask Darkim.
Smell good said this is why I love our nation. What's that? Yeah, go ahead, I'm listening.
That what the brother right here was just saying.
We
right?
was talking about the universal flag, right? When the law was, when the flag was made, like back in those days, back in '67 or whatever, that he was giving it that he gave one to Mayor Lindsay to show his appreciation. This is the man that gave him the school. So, like I say in the degree, he must add a sword on the upper part of the flag. That he had to add a sword on his universal flag. That's what the God asked him.
If the devil put a sword on his own flag?
No. You know how the born degree say that he's not on that degree, but we was building on the degree. You know what I'm saying? So the question came up that he said, you remember that the father gave Mayor Lindsay a flag.
Oh no. We don't follow that. That's
a different flag.
I mean,
that's
what you mean? Do we follow the same kind of rules in terms of if we give somebody white the flag, do they put a sword on it?
Yeah.
Nah, we don't do that.
Okay.
That's what Muhammad and them do. See, because look, here's the bottom line.
These lessons are from NOI, so those are NOI things.
Those are lost and found Muslim lessons.
I mean, first of all, here's the thing. I'm not 35 to 50 years old to make somebody study from 35 to 50 years. You understand?
That's a lot of time, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, nah, we don't do that. See, and then here's the thing that ruins that in terms of us being 5%, right? We tell people the whole thing the first day. Like, we tell you that you got the first day. So what you studying 35 to 50 years for?
Okay, but my question is this, like, say like a Caucasian person, you know what I'm saying? Or the white race.
Yeah.
If he wears a universal flag, does he have to add a sword on the upper part of it?
No.
Now Cypher, okay.
We don't have a alternate flag, and see now look, here's another thing, at least for me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because some people, if you got the 10 knowledge, you can just get a flag. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I'm only giving you a flag once you qualified anyway. You understand what I'm saying? So, in terms of being civilized and righteous, right? If he white, that's why we giving him the flag. You know what I mean? He's not just coming amongst us and doing trading. You know what I'm saying? They a part of the nation and shit. You see what I'm saying? They not people that, we gonna kill them as soon as we get rid of all the other. We not
You're the last ones to get it.
Yeah, none of that stuff. Yeah, we don't. That's not our teachings. You know what I mean? We here to civilize all the people. You gotta remember, these is from people who didn't have the power to do that. You see what I'm saying? When you didn't get to that degree yet, but I tell you that all prophets have tried to reform him, devil, and was unable to. So because of that, in their cipher, that's how they got to deal with them. You understand what I mean? Just like with anything else in life, other people, they got to take it to the physical because they don't have the knowledge and wisdom to bring about an understanding. You see what I'm saying? So Yeah, because Muhammad couldn't reform them, he had to deal with it that way. But that's not our science.
Yeah, and then it says at the end of the degree, you know what I'm saying? It says, the sword was an emblem of justice that was used by the original man in Muhammad's time.
Right. So yeah, in this day and time, we'd have to put a gun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or electric chip. You see what I'm saying? Because that's the emblem. That's the emblem of the ultimate justice. Like how you said, when they say it was used by the original man, it don't mean it was just used on the flag. It was used to give our justice to people. You know what I'm saying? When the person got the death penalty, then there was a sword to take your head off. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, but in general speaking, nah, we don't teach that. And like I said, it would just be impossible for us to do any kind of secret keeping because, you know, we're out front. That's the first thing you hear from us is that the black man is God. See, in the other stuff, the first stuff you hear from them is we organizing a bus ride to Atlantic City. You understand what I'm saying? See, that's why you got to study from 35 to 50 years when you over there dealing with that. You see what I'm saying? If you go to learn Kung Fu, first they put you there to just go like this. You see what I'm saying? And carry all these buckets of water, and then at the end, what they tell you? Well, the power is really in you. All this exercise I just gave you to bring it out. You see what I'm saying? That's because they didn't tell you that the first day. But if we tell you the first day that this is the whole thing, that really the studies that you going through, right, is that look, you come into the knowledge. And we tell you that the black man is 7. But that don't mean that you was on 6 when we met you. You see what I'm saying? You might be on 2. And now you gotta fill that space in. That's what you go back through your studies now to show and prove that you are this fact that we told you about. You understand what I'm saying? But it's no real, you know, there's no barrier there. There's no nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what there's no other information for us to protect. You understand what I'm saying? So nah, we don't have any we don't teach Masons. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we don't have any, you know, Masonic people. You know, cause look, I tell people like this, man. Look, if we gonna go by that, right? Then Azrael never was a 5%. The Azrael got the knowledge, you know, what that had to be, 66, 67? So he got...
That's the Caucasian person that the law taught, right?
Right. Yeah, so if he got the knowledge of 66, 67, right? And then when he returned to Essence, I don't think he had the knowledge 50 years.
Facts.
You ever met him?
Nah, I never
Yeah,
met him. I seen them in the videos, that's about, but I ain't never met him physically.
He was around.
See, what people leave out is that when, see, 2 things. You hit one thing on the head, is that, you know, Mayor Lindsay helped Allah build a nation. See, there was people that was around that they assisted Allah in what he was doing. Like, even when people said people got flags, it wasn't just random people. It wasn't like he was just standing over by the 2 train asking people if they wanted flags.
Mm-hmm.
Those was people that they added on some level of equality where Allah knew that they would wear the flag and rock it honorably. A lot of those people knew degrees. If you was around here, if you met Old Man Willie and them people, those people wasn't 85s in the way that you think of 85s.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And Mayor Lindsay, see, when it was time for him to manifest who he was dealing with, he told him what Allah told him. And see, even if you read the book, The Mayor's Man, right? They call him a man called Allah. Mayor Lindsay and Barry got, look, Mayor Lindsay, in order to get some of his money, Because, you know, in the 60s, that's when they was doing the Great Society. And they was giving out a lot of grants and stuff to, you know, inner city youth to try to, you know, curtail the gangs and really the riots.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They was trying to win over the minds of the youth so they wouldn't be attracted to the people like Malcolm X or Martin Luther King. So they started giving out the Great Society money. When Mayor Lindsay went to get his Great Society money, he used us as an example of the people that he was gonna be helping. And when he went down there to tell him who he was, he told him the truth. Just like Allah, he went out and manifested to those people who the true and living God was. And that's what it say 5% do. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people, they get it, you know, nah, man, Lindsay and Barry Goddard, you never heard them deny Allah. See, a lot of people come around here all the time, jet black, they didn't deny the law before. And it fell victim all kinds of ways. But yeah, man, Lindsay is a 5%. And look, some of these clowns that they put in our category that would never be man Lindsay.
Yup. I even know brothers that, you know what I'm saying, that fell victim before and said, don't go over there to that school. Don't F with them, you know what I'm saying? They ain't good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, talk down on this nation, you know what I'm saying? And they had knowledge of self before. So
Yeah.
it's facts.
Yeah, we, you know, they you know, when a person come into this knowledge, right? You come into the knowledge because your education has been furthered by Allah. See, at the end of the day, that's what we all doing here, right? Azrael came into this the same way the rest of us did. So it's really, you know, you can try to make whatever separations you want. But the bottom line, Azrael has the same father we have. So we don't do that kind of thing.
So basically the flag was given to the people who was honorable to have it.
Yeah, it wasn't just any clown like people now, well, I gave the flag to all these people. Yeah, it wasn't these clowns. Like I said, I knew some of those people. Across the street right there, it used to be a shoe shine stand. And it was people over there that could tell you sciences that, look, they knew Allah before we knew him. You understand what I'm saying? So there's things that they could tell you, experiences that they had with him before 1964. And when you went over there, they manifested it. When you met them, they told you who Allah was, man. There was a brother that told me a story. He's from DC. And he told me that he met a brother, right? He knew a brother that was locked up in DC. And well, I don't know if the brother was locked up in DC, but he was locked up. The brother's from DC. Mm-hmm. So he said at some point, the brother comes on his tier, right? So an old timer is in the cell. He said, yo, I know your father, to the brother. So the brother thought he was talking about his biological father. So he was asking the dude, oh, you from this part of the place? Yeah, you know this person, that person? So he said, the dude said, nah. That's your daddy. I don't know him. I know your father. He said, yo, you a 5%, right? He said, I heard you up there talking. You a 5%, right? So the brother said, yeah, how you know? He said, yeah, I used to gamble in places with Allah. He said, let me tell you something, man. When that man looked you in the eye and told you he was Allah, he meant it. And that's just one example I'm saying of a person where I'm telling you It wasn't people that you see them with the flag on and they ask you, yo, why you got that on? And they, you know, nah. These was people that when you asked them about Allah, they was happy to expand and tell you.
About him.
Yeah. So, you know, all those things that, you know, I don't like when people confuse that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of these people you see wearing the flag, nah. They not old man Willie. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see who else we got in here, man. They, you know, the room, they go off on their own now. They be on their own tangent. Yeah, we be over here building on one thing, and they be over there building on something else.
Now, God, I'll be looking at some of the YouTube videos and stuff about law school, some of your classes, Sunez's classes, and like, is there any differentiation between how you've been taught by the boroughs and stuff, separation, or like, you know, because I heard something like along the lines like some brothers don't acknowledge the nation of God's earth. They acknowledge the 5%ers. This is not Allah's 5% nation. It's the 5%ers. We're not the gods and earth. Somebody else came with that. So to get it right and exact, what is it, or how is it, or how that all came about? And
This is one of the controversial questions. This is one of the controversial questions that I try to avoid. This 2 days in a row. This 2 days in a row. Yesterday, the mathematics question that I've been trying to avoid came up. Look, I'm not really in that, you know, that particular thing it's an individual thing.
okay.
You know what I mean? It's an individual thing where it's not too much other stuff that applies or that has the same type of, what's the name? Now look, my personal, the way I see it, I don't recall us having no name. I don't recall any name. You know, when I got the knowledge, brothers told me what my name was. You know what I'm saying? You know. Or, man, they didn't tell me what my name was. They told me that I had to pick a name and take it out of the alphabet. They gave me a list of names. Say, look, if you don't like those, you make up your own name. You gotta use the mathematics in the alphabet. You know. We had a science to everything. You know, 7 characteristics of a wise man, you know, 7 planes of energy, 5 stages of the mind.
Right.
You know, there was a science to everything. I don't recall no science to the name. And even right now that people is telling you, they just telling you, everybody is just trying to think back and recall what they recall, and that's why it's a contentious thing. You see what I mean? Because everybody wasn't there on the same day. You know, some things is being mixed into the science that never had nothing to do with the name. You understand what I'm saying? You know, the way I recall it, what I recall is, that's another thing. Nobody ever referred to each other. Just like right now, right? How many times do you refer to somebody as a 5%?
How many times? I
Yeah. Like when you talk, it's like, look, when you know, well, I don't know if you're from, I'm assuming right now, but I'm saying, look, when you in Puerto Rico, right? How many times do you refer to the other people as Puerto Ricans? Because everybody here is Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So you don't use that. So
right.
right. So we never use that name. Like even I'm saying, look, if we saw some people, right, and they might have a crown on or something, right? You never said, yo, are you a 5%? Are you NGE? We didn't speak like that. We said, yo,
You righteous.
you righteous, you got knowledge,
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
We never said if you are. That's what I'm saying. These things now, you know.
But then they ask questions like the ones you teaching, like when I'm trying to teach my family, they be like, "Oh, what is that?"
Right.
And I'm
But
like,
just
"Oh,
what
that
I'm
comes
saying.
from the nation of God's word." But like, wait a minute, no, it's wrong.
I mean,
It's a 5%. Oh, so what's a 5%? Then I have to explain to them. 5% of the people that know the actual truth.
Listen, my thing is, whenever they decide whatever the name's gonna be, they just better make sure that they count me in the number. You understand what I mean? Yeah, for me, it's you know.
Like one of those things when they want to do their own like nation, right?
Nah, I mean, see, it's real complicated. Where it's a whole bunch of different things, but here's the bottom line. You know, when I first was coming around, and if it did come up, right? If it did come up, people were saying that we you know, the older brothers would say we was the 5% nation of Islam.
Mm-hmm. I heard that.
You know what I'm saying? Eventually, you know, other people might see it differently, but I was one of the people because see, I knew the Nation of Islam as the Black Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know their name was the NOI. So when I found out that they was the NOI, then I stopped saying 5% Nation of Islam. And I started saying something to other brothers that was saying that. So then it was, you know, common for brothers to just say the 5% nation. Then at some point, they came out with these buttons that said the 5% nation of gods and earths. So that was being said for a while. And then eventually, the 5% dropped off of the pens, and I really started seeing NGE just on different flyers that they would give out. Like it might be a flyer for the show and prove or a flyer for something about the school, and it would have NGE on it, but I didn't know what that was. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually somebody told me like, yo, that stands for Nation of Gods and Earths. But I still didn't look at it like that's our name. You understand what I'm saying? You know, another thing that I seen get mixed in there is that, you know, when you say who is the 5%, right, on this poor part of the planet Earth, it never tells you in that degree that a 5% is God.
all earth.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it includes the otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So, we were saying that, you know, a 5%, you know, is a stage that this is our baby phase, but we all gotta grow into being that God that we teaching about. You understand what I'm saying? So we were saying that, you know, we not the 5% in terms of constantly being a student and only teaching about God, but we actually have grown to this level and internalized it. You see what I'm saying? So like for instance, right, this is what let me this might clarify it. We Allah is 5%, right? Or the brothers who was there at that time in the 60s, they was Allah's 5%. Here's the thing.
Right.
I'm Allah now, I got my own 5%. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's when brothers were saying that the 5%, your 5% is your woman and your babies. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because those is the people that you gave life to, like Allah gave life to the nation. But that was a science. It never was nothing about our name. And what I seen is that, you know, it's all, but, you know, for me personally, yeah, no, I don't recall it like that. I don't recall us having no name. I'm saying, like, see, like this, like now, right? They got shirts. We didn't have shirts back in the days. We didn't have, and look, I'm one of the brothers, I'm telling you, we had shirts. I would have had one, man. I would have had a jacket that said whatever the name was, man. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, for me, yeah, I'm not in that. You know, I had people, you know, they want to get upset with me. Yo, you need to take one side or the other. Look, I don't know what side to take in this because I don't recall.
Oh, shit. Okay, so you gotta take a side on this.
I don't. That's how some people.
I mean, that's how the people put it on.
The people who you talking about that's in the what's the name that's going back and forth. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's not like one name is, you know, a large 5% and the other name is a group of shitheads. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you said that, then yeah, clearly I'm a large 5%. You understand what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
you know, so yeah, I'm not attached to that. I'm not attached to that because I didn't, you know, like look, at one time we was called the Blood Brothers. That's what I'm saying. It's
Right,
different.
right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, you know, I know it was a time where they had a cipher where they decided they was gonna be known as the 5%. I'm talking about the first, you know what I'm saying? But in terms of the name of our nation,
There's no name.
yeah, I don't really recall that. Like for instance, Sun God. We used to get locked up back in the day. They asked you your religion. We didn't have no name to tell them. We just, yeah, I don't got no religion. You understand what I'm saying?
So that's what you would say? I have no religion?
Yeah, you got no religion.
But I used to say
I got knowledge or something?
No, I used to say I'm Muslim because when they used to give pork, see,
You're
the
right.
Muslim, they used to give you a different tray. So
Right.
I used to say I'm Muslim because when they used to give pork, then I had the option to go and eat. You know what I'm saying?
You
I
see?
didn't have to deal with that pork.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? That's it. That's what I'm saying. Now, if we had a name, it would have came out all those times. You understand what I'm saying? I don't recall. You know, me personally, I don't recall.
Alright, so
And
basically we're on the same boat then.
Well, and to add on to what the God's saying too, if when you get to that degree, all that degree is like saying, you know what I'm saying, what we do. We teach freedom, justice, and equality to all human families of the planet Earth. That's what a 5% is, right? So what the gods and earth do, what does it do of a civilized person to teach? So basically it's like the same thing, God. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing.
What do you mean? What's the same thing?
It's the same thing, like, okay, the degree goes like that. It says, who's the 5% of the poor part of the planet Earth? They are the civilized people who do not believe in the teaching of the 10% who's all wise and know who the true and living God is. And teach that the true and living God is the Son of Man, supreme being, black man from Asia, who teaches freedom, justice, and equality to all human families of the planet Earth, otherwise known as civilized people, Muslims and Muslim sons. So, when they say what is the duty of a civilized person is to teach he who is established civilization. So all the gods and the earths, that's their duty to teach civilization. So I don't see no difference. You know what I'm saying? Because the God's duty is the same thing, and the earth duty is the same thing. To just add on and do their duty as a civilized person. So to me, like when somebody, I think it's just a name type of situation, you know. But to me, I don't see no difference. You know what I'm saying? The nations of God's enough, same thing as a 5%er. That's how I look at it.
Okay. Reason why I ask is because when you get asked, and they ask you, you know, to say the things right and exact, you're gonna say the things right and exact instead of well, I think it's called.
Now I ain't gonna listen. I tell you, man, it depends on what mood I'm in. See, look, I will say this. Since I started seeing NGE, we're kinder and gentler.
NGE, God, what that stand for?
The nation of gods and earths.
M?
N.
Oh, N.
Nation of Gods and Earth.
Ever since we was known as that, we kinder and gentler. So certain times when I want to get my point across, I let them know I'm a 5%. I'm from the time before.
That you came
Bring
up.
it back, universal beatdown.
Well, if that's what you want to call it.
Bring it back to
Yeah.
that instead of being
Yeah. Certain times I let people know, nah, I'm getting my 5% on today. I don't want to hear none of that. You understand what I'm saying? But I mean, in general, nah, it's not a. You know, like I've seen people where you don't want to attend this event because they got a name you don't agree with on it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day,
Just like when I came first through, God, you know what I'm saying? You made me aware of that. You know what I'm saying? You said we not we are lost fruit.
yeah. They going in over here in the room. I can't even catch up to them. They is state of the art. Who's this other brother? We got a couple people come in. Universal came in. And New Black World Order. Oh, Wise. He bounced a while ago. He be back.
Wise. I forgot the other name.
Wise King.
Wise King.
Yeah, Wise King. Oh, we got the other life line here too.
Magnetic. Self-magnetic. Okay. I like that name.
793rd.
Appreciate it.
They're good. Self-magnetic. He got a
Oh, Lord
has to do too.
Lord
Wise
Shalom.
King. Self-magnetic, y'all.
Got Lord Shalom came in, District 120. Yeah, they going, Julie TV. Alright, state of the art. I hope you not ain't been in here doing your stream of consciousness talking. Yeah, they all the way. Listen, man, we got any questions out there? Y'all got any questions? Other questions in here?
I don't know. Might be other controversial questions and.
Hey man, I guess. Hey, look, man. I guess.
Does it look like the Darkim is about to wrap it up, right, God?
Yeah, I guess. Listen. Y'all done hit me, man. We had two controversial questions in here, right? Look, I'm gonna get calls about that. Yeah, people that want to remind me, like, nah, I recall who this was the name. Nah, I don't recall. You know what I'm saying? I don't, man. There was no name during the time, you know what I'm saying? See, this is another thing that I heard dealing with this, that a devil, that when they change the name to NGE, then devils can't be NGE.
Right, that's what I heard. That's why they changed it. That's why it's not acceptable.
Why?
Because this is not a nation of just gods and earths.
Mm-hmm.
Because we teach all human families of the planet Earth.
That's right.
So, white man is not God. But he can still be taught.
Exactly.
So, we're excluding him and we just call ourselves nation of gods and earths.
Well, that makes a little bit of sense. Because it said the duty is to teach all human families.
All human families, yeah.
Yeah, but see, I still
Controversial.
I wouldn't agree with that either. You know what I'm saying? Because, all right, you know, so where they putting the criteria at? You know what I'm saying? Meaning like, you know, when you look, for me personally, certain black people can't be God. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I said. Look, certain people walking around here with righteous names can't be God. So are we saying all of those people ain't in the nation either?
Well, the way I was taught that you're God by birthright. Being a 5%er is what makes you live it. You know what I mean? Just by being yourself, just by knowing, all right, I'm God by birth. Okay, God. But are you living it? If you living it, then you're a 5%er. That's the way
But that's
the differentiation.
That's controversial too, because one time the older God came in here and he starts, you know, the way he was manifesting it, he was like, so you mean to tell me the God, the black man is God by nature, and he out there doing this, doing that. I don't really want to say what he was saying, you know what I'm saying? But
if he does wicked shit,
put it like that, not to say what he was saying. God? Yeah, is he God? He said, nah, he ain't God. You know what I'm saying? Because if we out there doing wickedness, you know what I'm saying? Then, you know.
How you a God then?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's why what you say make a lot of sense. You gotta live it.
You gotta live it, yeah. You can't just, you know, all right, but I'm
mean,
part of this. Nah,
but
you
see,
gotta live it.
For me, right, I shorten that, what you're saying in terms of the concept is the same. But to me, see, a person is born with the potential to be God.
Right, because
you know what I mean?
He could be wicked. He
right.
can turn wicked.
And also that, you know, the vast majority of definitions that you get from anywhere about God is about what he do. You know what I'm saying? How he manifests his power. You know what I'm saying? The maker, the owner, the life giver, the life taker, you know what I'm saying? The 99 attributes of Allah. These is, you know, adjectives and adverbs describing what a person do. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just to say a person is God by nature, right? But it's not something that they do, then the nature becomes more powerful than them. Like if something makes you God, then that thing has got to be God. You understand what I'm saying? Like the person come and you teach them, right? And now they saying that they God. Peace. The only reason they got there from your teachings is because you God. You understand what I'm saying? So by the same token, if you say, well, yo, you know, this napkin right here makes me God, you understand what I mean? Then the napkin must be God. I might as well bypass you and go to the napkin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why when the brother was saying, this makes me God, last week he was like, I said, nothing makes you God, nothing makes me God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You see what I mean? Because
and then that'll be a contradicting the first degree in the 1 to 10. I'm the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, so nothing makes me God. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of brothers like to use word semantics too. Remember that English is a trickery language too. You know what I'm saying? And the word semantics come into play too. But there's a way to get to put a sword to that too.
Right,
you know
right. You know, sword sharpening sword. You want to be with the semantics? I can be it too. You know?
All right, hold on 1 second. State of the art. Wisdom don't born wisdom. Cut that out. This guy, man. See, there's a lot of things, man, that it sounds good. You understand what I'm saying? But you have to be able to differentiate, right, between things that apply to specific situations and things that are universal law. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
In this science that him and Asiatic mathematics always trying to born things out, you're gonna hit a brick wall with that. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because see, dog borns the same thing as God. Devil borns the same thing as Allah. You understand what I'm saying? See, when you start doing that, right, and you trying to draw up meaning, see, first of all, you gotta remember, language, once you get into alphabet, is not as perfect as mathematics. You understand what I'm saying? That's why we use mathematics for everything, and we only use alphabet for something. Like, for instance, your height, your age, your telephone number, the address. You understand what I mean? We could use mathematics because it's much more exact and it's immovable. It's not open to interpretation. You know what I mean? Like, you can't say today's mathematics is wisdom at a cipher and then I'm gonna interpret that as understanding. No. It can only born wisdom. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's one thing. But now once you start mixing the alphabet in, right? And then on top of that, we dealing with an imperfect alphabet because it don't have one set of roots or one set of rules that apply to it. You see what I'm saying? You got words that they just took from this language and just put it in there. And when you look at the etymology is not related to the other words in that language.
Okay.
But you trying to make it all relate by adding it together. But what you doing is adding together things, you adding together parts that don't have a common denominator. You see what I'm saying? And you can't do that. You can't add 1/2 times 1/4. You gotta translate it into something else. What they get caught up in, right, is trying to translate that. So now when I tell them that, hold up, Allah borns God and devil borns God too, now you gotta try to translate what devil means somehow nah, man. When you start doing that stuff, see, first of all, when you start doing things that you can't explain to a child with this knowledge, you've gone off the deep end.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why when you see the brothers with the scholarship and all that, that's peace. I love the scholarship. I study too, like everybody else. But if you can't tell it to a child and you're not dealing with this science, you understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is for somebody 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So for you to give your dissertation, that might make you feel good, but you really just a 10% in this. Because that's the reason, that's the whole point of the knowledge hitting the streets. Right? You gotta remember that. Look, in the 1940s, there was no such thing as adolescence. Adolescent is a new category that was made because, especially once you had the Industrial Revolution, you know what I'm saying, you start getting the inner cities and you start having people that they couldn't take care of their kids. They got 13, so, not they couldn't take care of them like, they was better, but, when you hit like 13, like, because back then, you gotta remember, little kids is working. 5, 6, 7, 8, you already working. So by the time a kid's 13, 14 years old, he doing a job. Smoke cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? He drinking whiskey already. You know what I'm saying? He doing his thing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So you just had men, child, and women, children. That's what they consider to. Like a lot of women, by 14, 15, they already
married and shit.
Right. Yes, I mean, so there was really no adolescent category. But what happened is, after World War II, gangs, all type of stuff started going crazy. So they start saying, look, we need a category in order to help these people, right, from that society standpoint, but also from the economic standpoint, these people are the most susceptible to our marketing stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can't convince somebody 50 that, listen, there's an album coming out tomorrow and you have to have it. You have to have it so bad that you need to go stand online right now in the cold so that you can have it.
Right.
See, you can't convince people, 35, 40, 50 to do that. You see what I mean? Those are the people that you gotta lock in. Like, if you notice, most people, they never stop liking the stuff that they liked when they was teenagers. Like the sneakers that they buy, you know what I mean? Whatever, like, nah, the new stuff, I ain't with that. You know what I mean? Because that's when they ingrain all of that stuff into you. So those two factors right there brought the adolescent and the young people to the forefront. Before that, everything was about being older and having wisdom. You see what I'm saying? So, starting with the 60s, you start seeing this new, but nobody was coming out here for the young brothers that was caught in this particular situation. The young brothers that was out here with the cremators, right? There was nothing for us until this knowledge came out. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. If the people, if you want to teach the college science, go teach at Howard University or Columbia or whatever university you want to stay, But in terms of this knowledge, man, a lot of people with all their complex outer space stuff, that's for the individual.
No, and a lot of brothers take that serious because you're teaching the babies. You know what I'm saying? So
No, I get it, I get it. But I'm saying, like, for that, like what brother was saying, like, it's for the appropriate audience, man. If you got babies, you're not gonna come with high science words.
That's right. That's like trying to feed a baby a steak with no teeth.
There you got your baby food.
Exactly.
But if the audience is of age and they have that already knowledge and they have that that vocabulary, they know what you're talking about. Why not? Why not expand on that vocabulary and speak it like that if they understand it?
It's all depend on who you teach it.
Exactly, who the audience is, man. If it goes over their head, then you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the main thing you don't want to do.
Waste your time.
What is this here? Should apparently ask the question.
I'm gonna wrap that up, God.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
Thank God. See y'all. I'm about to write this wood. Let's see. Spin this around. So yeah, that was another good one.
That was definitely a good one. And then when the brother was over here, I was noticing one thing. One thing I don't like, God, is like when you speaking to somebody and they over here like this, looking at all the pictures.
Yeah.
You talking to him and he over here looking at all the pictures. I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's
people,
so disrespectful. You
yeah,
know what
people,
I'm saying?
yeah.
He over here like this.
Patience, God.
Like if he knows somebody here, like he like this.
Oh yeah, Shaquem was in here. I didn't even see Shaquem when he came in.
Peace.
Peace, God. It's all about patience, man.
No.
Some of these stuff is deep.
God,
you know. It's just all patience, man.
Yeah, you sometimes it's best just to walk away from something.
You
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just walk away, you know what I'm saying? You make a better day for yourself, you know?
Yeah, y'all would have your own cipher in the what's the name, man?
Yeah, man.
Leaving me out.
We need, last week, what took place. It wasn't big, because all that time we spent, the brothers came from man, like, you know, all the way from Medina, God, you know what I'm saying? And that foolishness, man, that can't be allowed, man, because that just killed those young God's town coming up here that they wanted to build bad, so bad. Even the Pure Almighty 7, he wasn't over here like for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And then that took place right there. And then I was really disappointed when he had because I wanted to add on to this, you know, after class section too. You know what I'm saying? But then what took place, so.
He definitely, he's got to learn how to remain civilized, man.
Yeah,
see, it's one of the things. See, when you deal with, you know, understanding. See, when sometimes, man, when you want to be understood, right, more than you want to have understanding, then you make the real devil.
And the God, I give it to you, God.
Understand?
Yeah.
You got a lot of patience, God.
When you want to be understood more than you trying to have understanding. See, the 33rd degree and 140 is what's the real devil. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what, you know, when you in any situation that you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying? You could be, you know, dealing with your black woman or something. You know what I mean? And you just trying to get your point across without seeing what the other person is. You see what I mean? Now you putting wisdom before knowledge. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? And the way how the situation is going to come out, that's going to be the real devil.
That is going to come out left, right?
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't have understanding. You just try and get your point across. You know what I mean? And you don't even know if your point is right or wrong, especially.
Peace, Lord.
Peace to the God.
All right.
That's what ends up happening.
Peace, Lord.
That's that, right, God?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it, God, no doubt. Alright, yo, Supreme Judge, hit me up in a few minutes. In fact, I gotta get on and what's the name, make some calls right now. Peace to Sunez, man. Hopefully you handle that situation. You know what I'm saying? We looking for you to be back in the pocket. Looking for you to be back in the pocket next Thursday.
Yeah.
Peace to everybody in the room. Yeah, I'm probably getting ready to catch y'all. You know, I was just getting ready to eat my food, and I decided to take on this assignment. So now I'm about to go lace into that. Don't tell Born Mastermind. Don't tell Born Mastermind that it's chicken.
Is that the one with the cake?
Yeah. Don't tell Boy Mastermind on me. You know what I'm saying? And look, and I don't know what kind of peas. It's peas. I don't know if it's the right kind that don't have the nitrogen in it. Alright, but yo, I'ma holla at y'all. I'ma go get this food. You know what I'm saying? Definitely tomorrow. I'm gonna be back in the pocket. The other thing is Saturday. Anybody that's if you around New York, this Saturday at a large school, we got some stuff to do out there. We're gonna be getting some yard work done. You know what I'm saying? We got some other little, maintenance stuff we gotta do to get everything ready for the summertime. You know what I'm saying? The garden, we're gonna be starting to get that ready. Getting the yard ready, the show improved, Justice Born Day, all those things is coming up. So if you available on Saturday, come through. We need the extra hands. And other than that, peace to the gods, peace to the earths. I gotta remember to say peace to the earths now. I got some earths that come and check me. You know what I'm saying? But peace to everybody.